Currently, there is a rise in sextortion schemes here in Michigan and across the world, actually.
Absolutely. So one of those schemes actually targeted a Marquette teenager up in the UP named Jordan DeMay. And ultimately, through this ordeal, he took his own life at just 17 years old. He was pressured by 3 men from all the way in Nigeria that were posing as a teenage girl on Instagram, asking him for nude photos and then threatening to show those photos if he didn't send money.
Now, through their pain, Jordan's parents have found purpose encouraging children to speak up when they make a mistake like this, something Jordan may have been afraid to do.
There's still a part of me that thinks he's gonna come through my front door.
And Jordan was so willful and so poised, and he just, like you said, he was just in that position in life where he did not want to disappoint us, and he felt that the only way out of this thing was to do that, and they were pressuring him hard.
Even encouraging him to take his own life if he didn't send the money. Investigators say that the men who pressured Jordan targeted more than 100 others, and they're being extradited to the United States now to face charges.
To help explain more about the rise in these cases and what parents can do to help, we've invited in Supervisory Special Agent Vince Ruiz from the FBI to explain this, and we kind of broke down a little bit of what sextortion is there. Is that basically it, where somebody gets you to do something that obviously is embarrassing on its face, and then they try and get money from you?
That's correct. So sextortion is a crime that occurs when somebody coerces an individual to produce images or videos, I'll say in a compromised way, right? And once upon receiving those images from that person, then they'll start to move into that extortion or sextortion process where they want something of value, whether it's cash, cryptocurrency, money transfer, gift cards, those sort of things.
Do you see it, by the way, happening as, like in this case, it was really remarkable. It was only over the span of like 6 hours where they started trying to extort money from him, where he ended up committing suicide. Is that how fast this happens?
It happens very quickly. Once they've got those images, there's no need to continue to try and get additional images. It's immediately moving in to try and get some money now.
So let's talk about the problem. How prevalent is it in Michigan? Are we seeing cases that ultimately end this way, where someone takes their life?
Yeah, sadly, this is not the only case, the Jordan DeMay case, where an individual has taken their life. And we've seen a pretty dramatic increase in reports of sextortion, financially motivated sextortion, that is, here in the state of Michigan and throughout the U.S.
In terms of like families that know that money has been produced as well?
I'm sorry?
Just in terms of people actually giving the payout. Have families come to you and with reports to investigate cases and that end as well, where the money was actually sent? Yeah, so
sadly, sometimes people have given money to these actors, and it doesn't stop. They'll continue to pester that person to try and get more money, and they'll just keep doing it with those threats of, hey, we're going to release this to your friends, your family, your school, etc.
As a parent, my biggest fear is I'll never know this until after it's happened. And maybe if I'm lucky, my child will come to me and say, look, I made a mistake, here's what's happening, because there's a lot of embarrassment involved. What's the advice to parents ahead of time to maybe catch this, to know, maybe get ahead of this instead of playing catch up all the way?
I would say obviously warn them of the issues of being online, whether it's online gaming, social media applications, or on the computer. Have open communication, build that trust with your child, so that way they do feel comfortable coming and telling you when something's not right, or they're encountering a situation that to them triggers inappropriateness.
And we're talking about young people. They're online, they're on social media. I mean, they're living their lives that way. At the very surface of it, it's like never share compromising photos of yourself with anyone, particularly someone that you're meeting online. I mean,
so true.
You don't know who that person could be.
That's absolutely correct. And again, have those conversations that once something goes out there online, it's forever, right? Even in these cases, there's no way for us to ensure that those images or videos are completely removed from the internet. Once they're out there, they're out there.
And that's even sent on a text message, not even sent to the internet.
I was kind of surprised to see in this case that not only were you able to track down who did this pretty quickly, but then also to see that they're going to be extradited. Have you guys been having success with prosecution and investigation in these cases?
Certainly. So, you know, some things to keep in mind. If you do have this sort of situation, report it to law enforcement, right? You can reach out to FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Here in Michigan, you can call our local office, 313-965-2323. I would say preserve any sort of conversations or text messages or any sort of interaction that they have, because that's what's going to give us the opportunity to try to identify those actors and see if we can't move to a prosecution.
Yeah. Well,
So
good
they're
job
going to
in
be
this case.
extradited. So what could the penalty be?
It varies. It depends. It varies from case to case, right? Sometimes these are a single victim, but oftentimes these actors go for many victims.
Right. Well, in this
obviously-
case, we're saying it's connected to 100 other cases. That,
Correct.
you know,
So a person like that is going to see more charges against them than the person that has only a single victim.
Well done in being able to make an arrest. Certainly in this case, that's at least one bright spot to come out of this. But Special Agent Ruiz, good to have you here. Thanks for the perspective. It's
Yeah.
really helpful.
Yeah, no problem. Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining us. Appreciate it.